My name is Jillian, and this is Jillian Camps, Arizona, and today, yes, we're doing another round of this book. We're doing trip number 45. It's the Garden Valley Loop. It says that Garden Valley is the site of a prehistoric Indian ruin where potsherds litter the ground under a forest of chainfruit cholla cacti. Several trails traverse this level expanse, with Weaver's Needle and Four Peaks rising above the surrounding low hills. Hackberry Spring often has water in the dry season, and First Water Creek has seasonal pools of water. Look at it behind me. Isn't that cool? Dude. Itinerary. From First Water Trailhead, which is where we parked, follow the Dutchman's Trail and Second Water Trail to East Garden Valley. From Garden Valley, an unmarked horse trail leads northwest to Hackberry Spring. Return on the Wash route or one of 4 alternative routes. Hey, look, I found one. A grinding stone. Isn't that cool? A matatus is what they call it. I don't see any grinding stones around here, but it's kind of cool. Might be like in these bushes or something, you know? But this is neat. Look at the history. We're going to read some of this history from this hilltop because this is where the prehistoric ruin is. So I wanted to read some from here. History and Legends. The Arizona Daily Gazette in 1893 reported the ruins of a prehistoric stone house in Garden Valley. Estimated to be at least 3 stories high, the structure included a large stone-paved courtyard in the center. The outside dimensions were reported to be 300 by 500 feet. On the southeastern and upper side of Garden Valley, there was evidence of irrigation canals. Today, the irrigation canals look like shallow washes coming down the hill from the south. In a 1931 Arizona Republic story, Harvey Mott reported that the ruin was 97 feet wide, 192 feet long, and 20 feet high. Yeah, this is pretty tall. This isn't 20 feet, I don't think. It is easy to miss the ruin today since it's covered with grass and Palo Verde trees. The ruin is 50 feet north of the Wooden Trail sign for the Second Water and Black Mesa trails. We're about 87 feet north. Excuse me, which way do we go? That way, or that way, or that way? You can still see the remains of a few walls, but it mostly looks like a big mound of rocks. That's what this is, a big mound of rocks that we're at the top of. This is kind of cool, though. The 1893 report seems to overestimate the size. I would agree. This is much smaller than the 300 by 500 feet. I mean, Jesus, that's huge. And look, that's 300 feet like in that direction. No way. The 1931 measurement is closer to our estimate of 75 feet wide, 150 feet long, and 10 feet high. We found 2 large and 2 small matatus in the bedrock on the southeast side of Hill 2474, about halfway to the top. The grinding holes are carved into flat rock and measure 6 to 8 inches in diameter and 2 to 10 inches deep. We found these in 2 locations. Parts of broken manos, grinding stones, can still be found on the valley floor. You can view another set of bedrock matatus on the north end of Garden Valley. These matatus are on the southeast side of Hill 2538 under a cliff overhang at ground level. The pottery sherds in Garden Valley are usually about 1 inch to 1.5 inches square, with one side finished in a smooth, solid red color and the other side an unfinished desert sand color. A few sherds have designs painted in red on buff. Specks of mica on the unfinished side sparkle in the sun. Some of the sherds have the smooth edge feature of a vessel lip. This pottery is probably made by the Salado Indians between AD 1100 and 1400. Do not take any pottery sherds away from the site. That guy was just telling us how most of the pottery sherds are gone because people have come and taken them away. So that's the hill that we were looking for the matatus, by the way, up on that side. We were kind of climbing all in there. I couldn't find it, so I don't know what the heck they're talking about in this book, to be perfectly honest. But it's kind of interesting, huh? In 1866, Garden Valley was the site of a major skirmish involving the Apache and Yavapai Indians and the U.S. infantry, led by an Army commander, Lieutenant Dubois, from Fort McDowell. I bet you've hit somebody in your day, huh, sir? Look at that precarious rock, too. So people have to step around the rock, and then they step right into the cactus. Note that these were foot soldiers, not cavalry soldiers. 30 Indians were killed and many taken prisoner. The trail coming up from First Water Creek that the military used to approach Garden Valley is rough but still usable. The 5th Cavalry, outfitted with rations for 20 days, left Camp McDowell on January 6, 1873, in search of Apache rancherias. On the 3rd day of the Army Scout, the expedition, under the command of Major W. H. Brown, crossed the Salt River at present-day Canyon Lake. They made a 15-mile loop through the Superstition Mountains before making camp in Peters Canyon on the evening of January 8, 1873. We don't have a precise route for the day's march, but only one route fits this 15-mile excursion. From the Salt River, we estimate that they marched south to Garden Valley and continued to West Boulder Canyon, where they passed some tanks and rock about 8 miles from last night's camp. Heading east over Bull Pass, they could have gone up Squaw Canyon, but the mileage indicates they went farther, probably to Charlevoix Spring. Isn't this crazy? They got all this from this guy's diary. That's what's so crazy to me. Page 101 from 2nd Lieutenant John G. Bourke's diary. The top map shows a loop march from Garden Valley over Yavapai Mountain with a January 8, 1873 camp in Peters Canyon and a January 9, 1873 camp on Salt River. The lower map shows the route to the January 10, 1873 camp at the junction of Pine Creek and Revis Creek. January 11, 1873 camp in Rogers Canyon, and January 12, 1873 camp at Rogers Trough Trailhead. We added the north arrow, dashed lines for trails and streams, and typeset dates for camps. Whoa, that's cool. Look at that. It says the marches January 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 1873. Whoa. He just kind of drew it. They continued up to Peters Mesa, followed the Spanish Trail across Malapai Mountain, and came down to their January 8th, 1873 camp in Peters Canyon, where they noted a feeble stream of water flowing north. See 2nd Lieutenant Bourke's map on the top of page 257. People made a little path here. On January 9th, the command camped on the Salt River near the confluence with Fish Creek, where Bourke wrote, "Our present camp within 600 or 800 yards of the scene of slaughter, December 28, 1872, which was the site of the Skeleton Cave Massacre." January 10th was another long march of 15 miles, which started in Canyon Creek, Fish Creek. Then, we surmise, they headed east to Pine Creek, where they went left of Weaver's Needle, quote-unquote, Bourke's Butte, and came down into their camp at the junction of Pine and Revis Creeks. See 2nd Lieutenant Bourke's map on the bottom of page 257. We speculate that on January 11th, they headed up the Pine Creek Trail, went through Revis Valley, and camped at the junction of Rogers and Grave Canyons for a march of 7 or 8 miles. This part of the route does not match Bourke's field notes or his map.
I like we found it.
But on January 12th, they marched 1 to 1.5 miles and camped in the Rogers Trough area, which matches Bourke's notes for the following days when they traveled in the West Fork Pinto Creek area. More of Bourke's commentary and maps on the Apache Wars in the eastern Superstition Mountain can be found in our companion volume, Superstition Wilderness Trails East. In some areas of Garden Valley, you can see both Four Peaks and Weaver's Needle.
See, that's where I'm confused, because Four Peaks is that away, I believe. Weaver's Needle, though, is this way. And I don't know where you can see all that. I think it lies. Liar! I'm kidding.
Some of the Lost Dutchman mind maps show a reference line between these two peaks. Garden Valley lies to the west of that reference line. Another clue suggests that the Lost Dutchman mine lies on a line drawn from Four Peaks when the Four Peaks are viewed as one peak. Four Peaks has that orientation when viewed from the Tortilla area.
Let's finish off this hike. We're on a road. Nice and easy.
I'm going to take off my snake gaiters, man. These are burning hot. Holy crap. Oh, we made it.
You want to see something really gross? Oh, that's all my sweat.
We did it. I'm so hot. I just had to sit in this car. Wait, let me turn this off. I just had to sit in this car and cool off for a hot second. Anyways, we did it. Thank you guys for coming with me. I appreciate it. That was fun. I'm not gonna lie. That was a lot of history. I'd love to hike it again and read that part of the book more clearly. That way I have it more memorized and then go do it again. So anyways, let's go home. I'm done. Bye.